Christy has an ultrasound machine. Wait, what? It was on the ambulance that came into town.
So you really think this is gonna tell you anything?
I don't think anything's here by accident.
You really want to beat this place? Sober up.
Is someone upstairs? No. Oh my god. No.
Hello everyone and welcome to Geek Anime channel. I'm your detective host Igor. Today we are going to analyze some promotional materials for episode 6, season 3 of one of our favorite TV shows, From. As usual, I prepared for you all of the screenshots. I'm gonna go through all of them and present to you everything that I found. But this is not a one-man show. This is a community. This is why I'm always asking for your comments, for your insights, and for something that you were able to find and I missed. Some of you may think that I'm asking for comments because of the YouTube algorithm or something like this. I'm gonna let you in on a secret. YouTube doesn't really care about your comments. It just so happens that most of the times when a video has a lot of comments, it's usually correlated with a lot of views. But ask yourself, if there's two videos, one of them with 1,000 views and 1,000 comments, and one of them with 100,000 views and 1 comment, which one of those videos made more profit for YouTube and which one of those videos will be recommended more to other viewers? So the only reason why I'm actually asking for your comments is because I'm genuinely interested in all of your thoughts and all of your theories. Your brain works amazing. Like, there is a reason why I wanted this to be a community, because many times I'm reading your theories, and even sometimes when I don't agree with them, I just really enjoy watching and reading how your mind works, because those theories can be sometimes very good. And since I'm already speaking about community, let's as usual thank everyone who supports me on Patreon. Your donations is what make this channel possible, and I want to welcome 2 new members, one of them being Taryn Gillis, joined as a motivator, and one of them is Monique E, joined as the beacon of light. Thank you so much for your support. I really enjoy this community getting bigger and bigger, and hopefully I'll be able to do some interesting things for the Patreons. Right now the only thing they are getting is basically watching my videos without ads, and this is not a huge benefit. This is basically everybody can do with some kind of an ad blocker. So the only reason those people support me is because they want to see this channel grow, and I appreciate it so much, and I will do everything that I can so you will feel as special as possible. Now let's dive in. So just like the last time, I want to start with the synopsis because it's kind of give us the outline of what's about to happen in the next episode. Let's read it together. Fatima and Alice make a big decision about her pregnancy. Boyd fears for the future of his family. Tension rise in the Matthews house. Randall opens up to Marielle about his fears. So let's start with actually Randall opening up to Marielle about his fears. Probably this is what's gonna happen here in this scene where Marielle is actually fixing him up. He's already conscious. Last time we have seen him, he was a bit out of it. He was screaming in pain. He was just yelling. He was having some kind of a pain seizures. So right now we can see he's already, like collected. He's focused, and he's gonna have one of the baddest scars I have ever seen on TV. It looks like it's not something that I wish on anybody, but like cinematically wise, it looks amazing. So he has a really awesome scar here. Kudos to the prop team. And we kind of can see that there's probably gonna be some connection between those two people, kind of unlikely connection, but still those are the only ones, like Julie, Randall, and Marielle, who really know what they experienced in this cellar where Boyd saved them from. Those screams that Julie keep hearing right now, the only 2 people that can understand her and are experiencing probably the same thing are Marielle and Randall here. So obviously Randall is probably gonna feel a little bit more open and is gonna share the same thing that Julie shared to ELJIN in the previous episode, and I hope Marielle is gonna be there for him. So she patched him up. She's gonna put some kind of a like a patch on his cheek, and we're gonna see him doing some probably interesting things in the future episodes. Now there's also a short ELJIN scene. He's the one who's checking the Polaroids pictures. He's probably checking them out to try to understand. Maybe the creators are gonna go, the usual trope of every horror movie when you catch a ghost on a photo or on the video cam or something like this. It's probably something that's gonna happen here because like he's laying up all the photos and he's trying to find some clues. And we can see here that this image, I don't know what he's holding. It looks like a cigarette or some sort. Maybe maybe I'm seeing here something completely else. This is one of the reasons why I'm asking for your comments, because many times you can notice something that I didn't. He's holding some image. Now when we zoom into here, you cannot really understand what is he's holding, but he's probably gonna see here something very important to the plot, hopefully. As far as I can see from the images to episode 6, this is gonna be a very interesting one for us. Maybe it's not gonna be interesting for the, you know, like the usual viewers who most of the times are looking for action and something happening and something going forward. Us too, but you know, those episodes that can be a little bit slower but present us more clues for our theories are also very interesting for us. So also here we can see Clara again on the images, on the Polaroid image. I don't know why. As I told you, there can be two reasons. One of them, who is most likely, you know, like she's been there for a couple of years and maybe the creators are just helping out her, you know, like they're giving her more screen time. This is something obviously very important for any actor in their career, you know, getting more screen time. You're gonna get more roles probably, usually, hopefully. Or the second reason, maybe, you know, like the creators trying to actually build something with Clara. Now this is something they haven't done, for example, with Virgin Mario on season 1 and the guy who hanged himself on season 1. But they actually did it with Nikki already in season 3. They kind of prepared us for something that's gonna happen to her. They knew already that if they're gonna just kill somebody who they present in this episode and they kill her in the same episode, we're gonna care way less compared to showing her to us in episode 1 and episode 2 and then like killing her in episode 4. So we kind of know her already and we kind of understand why everybody's upset about her death. You know, like it's not only technical, like obviously somebody dies, everybody's gonna be upset, but we also need to feel it. We need to know the character in order to actually feel something about it, because otherwise it's just some lines in script that just not gonna be written anymore. This is what happens usually when there is a character who is dead and we don't really know the character. So maybe the creators are actually trying to prepare us for some kind of a moment with Clara. Either she's gonna die, maybe she's gonna be a mole, maybe she's something else, maybe she's, you know, actually a villain or something like this. I don't know, but I'm obviously checking every time that she's on the screen. I'm trying to find some information about her. She's very curious to me in this season. Here we can actually move into the other plot line, and it's gonna be probably a very big surprise. Now we can see here that Boyd is telling to Alice that in the ambulance car there is an ultrasound machine. Okay, so they can actually check the baby. How's it going? How, you know, this is already probably a couple of weeks in, maybe even a month in, you can actually already see the baby. So you can see that both Alice and Fatima are pretty surprised. This is in Colony House. You can see the mural behind them. And in those images already from the promotional materials of Amazon, you can see way better quality. We can see that Boyd is pretty much worried. And here we can see that he's trying to actually, you know, like calm Alice down, or, you know, like basically give him some kind of a support, some kind of a feeling that there is support here for him. And there is also here, you can barely see here, but there's also somebody here. And this is probably obviously Fatima, and Boyd is taking both of them to the ambulance, to, you know, to the school where there's the ambulance, so they will be able to check how the baby is doing. And this is what happens here. Like in the trailer, we have seen that Christy is trying to find the baby with the ultrasound machine. By the way, I tried to find the logo, you know, the reverse image search in Google and other search engines, didn't find anything. Once again, it's probably something that was invented specifically for this show. There is no company like this, as far as I can tell. Maybe you know something that I don't, but once again, there is some kind of a symbol that resembles everything connected to illusions. We have seen that many times, you know, those logos on Victor's clothes, on other places, you know, the infinity symbol, and so on and so on and so on. Now look at Christy's face here. Like everybody who's experienced the pregnancy period and know how the ultrasound works, especially during the first months, you will see that kind of face on the nurse or on the ultrasound technician, whoever does it for you. Like a lot of times, especially in the early months, they're not finding the baby in the first try. Sometimes they need to look a little bit, especially if the ultrasound machine is not the newest kind of form of the ultrasound machine. So this is a face of somebody who wasn't able to find the baby, and we can actually see that in the next shot. We can see that everybody is very much worried. You can look at Boyd's face. He's having a what the fuck moment, and it's not a good what the fuck I won the lottery moment. It's a, okay, this is something bad is happening here. Also look at Fatima. She's very surprised. Now, two options can be here. Either they didn't find the baby or they saw some kind of a dragon monster with, you know, like big teeth there. So the more likely scenario here is basically they found some kind of a monster, because like we know that Fatima is pregnant. She did the pregnancy test already and it showed that she is. And you know, the way she's been acting lately, it kind of feels like she is pregnant. But something about their reaction doesn't give me enough vibes of, oh my god, there is a freaking monster inside your belly. It kind of connects also to the synopsis, because you know, like Fatima and Ellie come to the big decision regarding pregnancy. Like, what can it be? Probably an abortion or keeping the baby, even though it looks like a freaking monster. You know, it's not gonna be a big decision if they're just gonna see, okay, the baby is fine, everything is fine, it's growing correctly, it looks exactly like it's supposed to look, so it's not a big decision, you're gonna keep the baby. It's a big decision if you're gonna abort it, or it's a bigger decision if it's like some kind of a crazy monster and you're gonna abort it. If there is no baby inside of it, what kind of decision they're gonna like take regarding pregnancy? There is no decision, you're not pregnant, so keep on with your life. Still, something in the reaction of Boyd and everybody else doesn't give me enough of, oh my god, there is a monster inside. If there's a monster inside, everybody would be way more freaked out here. So I don't know exactly what it is. Two options can be possible here. Anyway, we're gonna have to wait and see. Now, we're gonna talk about my favorite storyline, in like, not a favorite one, but you know, like two, my favorite characters are Victor and Jade. So they are the ones who are bringing us some answers. And there's gonna be some father-son quality time here between Henry and Victor. They're gonna go to the field trip to the caves to check out some monsters. You know, this is what fathers and sons usually do. And we can see here already from the trailer, Victor is gonna be the guide here. Obviously, he knows the place. He has been there for a couple of days with the help of the boy in white. He knows how to navigate there. He took, you know, the flashlight. This is probably the supplies that he was talking about in the previous episode. So when they go in, okay, we can see like some of the shots from the trailer. Obviously, it's not a best quality, even though like this is the best quality I was able to find in YouTube. Even though Jeremy Ice and Fire usually have the best possible quality, and the creators are actually releasing those trailers usually on Instagram somewhere on Saturday. Nobody's gonna wait until Saturday. Release them as fast as you release them on the TV screen. I don't understand this. Like, why we need to analyze this from somebody who recorded it from TV screen? Just release them online. Why do you have YouTube for? We like most of the views are actually coming probably from online servers. So it's not understandable to me. Anyway, moving on, we can see that they're gonna be in the caves. There's not much details here. I try to, you know, like brighten up those shots, but it's nothing, just the walls, and they're going inside and they're gonna find a very familiar place. Now, this is one of the creepiest tea parties I have ever seen. And yeah, we can see here already that the doll is basically, you know, like being the boss of the place, you know, sitting in the chair, getting ready to drink some tea. So a couple of things come to mind here. First of all, either the monsters are playing with the doll and they're doing some very creepy tea parties here, like very weird, you know, like this is not something you expect from very crazy, you know, like bloodthirsty monsters to do. Or the second thing that can be way more likely, especially since we know already that the doll spoke to Christopher, is that the doll itself is actually, you know, trying to entertain itself. You know what is the best way to do it in a cave? You do some tea party. Now let's try to find some interesting things here. Like, first of all, this chair is obviously the same chair from episode 1, season 2, when Tabitha and Victor were going through the caves and there was like the monsters. This is the same room. Okay, you can see the chair here, the symbol in the chair is the same one that we see here. So somebody just put the chair, used it for, you know, recreating some tea party time. We can see here this is not the same place where the doll was speaking to Christopher. Different chairs here and here, nothing else that we can actually connect to the same cave that we're seeing here. Now this is, if I'm reminding you, we can see here like the baby stroll, and we see here like those two boxes where the doll is sitting on. There is some kind of a mannequin here without a head. So when we move here, we can see the same mannequin, we can see the baby stroll here, we can see the same two boxes, but there's a new picture, new drawing. As far as I remember, I haven't seen this one in season 2. So with some kind of a creepy flowers. So this is definitely the same place where Tabitha and Victor saw many monsters in the caves. They are not seeing one of them right now. Maybe they're just not showing us in the promotional materials and we're gonna see them in the episode. But so far we're not seeing any monsters, but both Victor and Henry are freaked out of something. they heard something, or I don't know what it is. Like, look at Henry here, he's holding some kind of a colorful, I don't know what it is, and he's pretty freaked out. And Victor's there already holding the doll, he's holding Jasper, and he's probably trying to calm his dad, and he's actually telling him like, let's get out of here, please. And this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna take the doll actually to the truck where they used to hide also in season 2. As far as we remember, this is the truck that Miranda actually prepared. Most of the things that it's inside here were actually done by Miranda and not Victor, from his words. And we see that he put his doll here, like this is the same place. We remember Tabitha here with the same toy of the train, but it actually already a little bit different, not too much, but a little bit. And we can see here like this is the same place, and Victor here is looking probably at the doll. Once again, no details. Usually in those promotional photos they are actually focusing on the actors, so they're not giving us too much to work with. And we can see here the same truck, the same angle, and we can see that the doll is basically not alive, not talking to them, not doing anything. So probably until this moment the doll is gonna be silent. It needs to be possessed in order to talk, and it's gonna happen at some moment. Probably not the next episode, because it's still gonna be episode 6, not episode 10, not season finale, but this is obviously gonna happen. So yeah, we're moving forward to another storyline that is very interesting for me, and this is Jade. He's going to a different tree. This is not a, like a faraway tree. This is probably the same tree that Boyd and Sarah saw in season 1, and one of the moments here actually got me really hyped up. So here in this moment, Jade is actually talking about everything is connected in this place, and he wants to figure out this place. And Tom, the bartender, tells him like, if you really want to figure out this place, you need to sober up. And I had here one of those, 90s action movies scene, when the hero is actually getting like the last word from his sensei, that he's telling him like, you need to do something and you to believe in yourself, and the water is flowing or some shit like that. And then he knows exactly how to beat the big bad. So I kind of had this moment here because Jade is the only one who has the potential to figure out this place, and Tom is saying something that has to be a prerequisite for him to actually figure out this place. Kind of makes me feel like we're gonna get some answers this season, hopefully some big ones, maybe not all of them, obviously not all of them, because we're gonna get season 4 and hopefully 5, but we're gonna get something, and it's gonna come from one of my favorite characters, Jade. So it really got me hyped up, and I'm so waiting for the next episode. So we can see like Jade is actually like soaking in the words. He understands what he needs to do, and we can see that he starts to dig in. He's drawing some pictures of the bottle tree, he's writing something. By the way, this is the same company from like Clary's or something like this, from the truck that Victor and Miranda actually built some kind of like a home base there. So this is the same company. I don't know if it tells you anything or not, but like once again I notice, I share. So here we can see that like a Jade, he took all of the papers. Thank God they didn't just like throw them like Jim. Yeah, doesn't matter, just numbers in this magical place where everything is stupid and fucked up. I'm Jim. I'm not gonna try to figure out anything here in this place because I'm an engineer for the roller coaster. Anyway, he took all of the numbers, he took all of the paper sheets, and he put them like the newest ones from the bottle tree, or the faraway bottle tree. And on the left side we have probably the same papers from the bottle tree that Boyd and Sarah found. So how can I actually assume that this is the paper from the tree that Boyd and Sarah found? Because when we zoom in here, we can actually see that this is kind of the same paper that Boyd was holding in the end of season 1. We actually have here also Camden written, so they are gonna analyze everything. Actually, Jade is doing something that needed to be done a while ago. He's probably doing the board, just like I was doing in the beginning of my analysis. Try to connect everything that we know and try to put it all in one big picture, and I'm all for it. And even probably, like most definitely, we're not gonna get the answers in the next episode, but then when we can see that Jade is basically talking to Eden and explaining him something, he's probably explaining him like something that he found, but there's also like a dilemma, a problem that he cannot solve yet. And there's a lot of sayings about the beauty of like a child's mind. They are able to see some things that us grown-ups cannot see, from a very different angle, because like their brain is not that wired like ours. So we can see here like that Eden is also basically thinking about something, and I think he's gonna have some kind of a conclusion or some kind of a hint that Jade is gonna use, because here in this conversation between him and Tabitha already, we can see that Jade has a clue. He knows something. He's telling Tabitha something. He's showing her his conclusions. We can see here, like in this conversation, like this is definitely, look, I found something, and please check this out. Now, another interesting thing here for me is basically when we zoom in, I cannot read what is written here, but it kind of looks like it's once again the battle tree is written as it's drawn here. Anyway, and we can also see that, what is this red thing? Are they actually starting to use their phones? You know, because even though you don't have a connection, a cellular connection, or you don't have an internet connection on this, it's still a very powerful machine. It's a small, tiny computer that can do a lot of things even without the internet connection. And they are not using it, they're completely neglecting them. So maybe this is a phone, maybe it's something else, I don't know, but it's once again something that definitely we need to be on alert for. So yeah, another line, as I told you, Randall's already coming back to the bus and he's being approached by Julie. You know, like in the next episode, probably episode 7, the synopsis is basically Julie and Randall are trying to find some kind of a normalcy in this place. Like normalcy for their age is, unfortunately, you know, like I'm not judging anyone, but it's just my opinion. It's basically smoking some things. So as I told you, Julie is also one of the people that can actually understand what's happening with Randall, and she knows that this is something that actually helps them, you know, to eliminate those voices and those screams in their head. So she is coming to Randall, literally bringing him the, you know, the pipe of peace, and they're probably gonna have some moment together. Anyway, we're moving forward. Now, this is a moment that I cannot connect to any scene, because this is obviously from the village with, you know, the creepy dolls. This is the same dolls that we have seen already. This one we haven't seen yet. But it's obviously from there, from the same place, or it was found in like anywhere else in this forest or something like this. But we haven't seen any one of the characters in the promotional materials, at least, going somewhere. There's not like another delegation of Kenny and the other people going to bring some food. It's not. This is just one shot. So what is it? I have no idea. And I try to understand what the hell is happening here on its forehead, but you know, the thing that came to my mind...
But it looks like a giant dick! Oh my god, it looks like a huge...
Pecker! It looks like someone's...
Privates! It is a long, smooth shaft, complete with 2 balls!
That looks just like an enormous...
Wang!
But that enormous flying...
Willie! Yeah. What's that? Well, it looks like a giant... Johnson!
So I think for this moment we just need to move forward, because yeah, you know, anyway, if you have any idea about why we're actually seeing one of those dolls in the episode where it looks like nobody is in the village, please write me some comments. I would love to read them. Now there's another conversation between Donna here and Tabitha. I don't know exactly how it's connected, because, you know, Donna's here next to the pool. We can see that she was wearing some gloves, so she was doing something, she was working, and Tabitha is hugging her out. I don't know, Tabitha is not connected to Dale. Donna is obviously connected to Dale. Like, she didn't like the guy too much, but she also liked the guy too very much, because they were like, you know, since the beginning together, and we saw already how powerful every loss for Donna is. When this guy in the season 1 hanged himself, she was taking it pretty hard. When there was a massacre, she was taking it pretty hard, obviously. Like, every time she loses something, it's very, very hard for her. Even though she presents like this tough and strong lady boss, she's obviously feeling everything, because, like, this is also a very strong characteristic, by the way, not, you know, holding every emotion inside. I love Donna character. Anyway, she was doing something. We can see they were like discussing something. They're probably discussing Dale or something like this. And there's a conversation, not many details. Everything is focused. Once again, there's some kind of, looks like a little bit like a trolley or something like this. So Donna was doing something here. And we can see here in this shot that there's like a lot of stones here. It's almost looks like a burial ground or something like this. So probably Donna was the one to cover Dale up. So they built some kind of a tomb here, so everybody will not have to see him, this horrifying death, every minute of every day. And Donna was the one to do it. Yeah, so we have another moment with Kenny here, also by the pool. He's having some kind of a conversation with Donna. Maybe Donna is telling him something about his parents, because we are finally seeing Kenny smiling. We haven't seen him smile since episode 1. So yeah, probably gonna be a nice moment. I'm happy. I'm for one very happy to see Kenny smile. This guy deserves it. He deserves to have some kind of a good moments in his life right now after everything he's been through. And the last and the most surprising thing here is Tabitha. She's at home with Ethan. Ethan is reading some kind of a book. They're talking to each other. I don't know what this book is. Once again, reverse image search kind of failed me. I wasn't able to find this kind of cover, but it's not, obviously it's not the first time when the creators are actually putting some books that don't really exist in this place. I don't know if it's a fairy tale or some sort, or it's just some kind of a journal or diary, once again with some drawings that Ethan is just checking in order to understand what's going on in this place and in order to help Jade. But at some point Tabitha hears something. She hears some kind of a noise and she's going upstairs, and there's like a door opens and she's completely terrified of what she has seen or what she has heard. Now, my theory is probably she heard something or seen something connected to Thomas. We've seen already, you know, this entity calling Ethan, calling Jim, presenting itself like it's Thomas and talking to them like it's really their son who is deceased. And I don't see any reason why this entity would stop when Tabitha comes back. So it's probably gonna keep torturing the Matthews family, and it's probably gonna present itself even in a more horrendous ways, and it's gonna like affect obviously the mother way more than anybody else. Obviously it's a tragedy for everyone in the family, obviously, but nobody experiences the passing of a child like a mother. This is once again my opinion. You can argue with me about it, but like I think there is no stronger connection between a mother and a child. There's like, this is the strongest connection that can ever possibly be created by God, whatever you believe in. So yeah, this moment in my opinion is probably Thomas. I cannot think about anything else. Maybe there's gonna be something between like Tabitha and her connection to this place, like the same vision she had, you know, with the lighthouse. And there's a lot about this vibe that she has been in this place. There's a big theory about her being Eloise, Victor's sister. This is how she escaped. Her memory was wiped. She doesn't really remember being Victor's sister. Some of the things are not working for me. The age difference between the actress who plays Tabitha and the actor who plays Victor are about more than 10 years old. So obviously there's not a 10 years old difference between Eloise and Victor when we see them in the cellar, when Miranda is actually, you know, running towards the Nkui children in order to save them. So there's the age difference. There is also like the different ethnicities of both of the actors. The actress who plays Tabitha, she's Latino American or something like this. She's a Latina, and the actor who plays Victor, and Victor Kavanagh is an Irish name. He's obviously a white Caucasian guy. So there's also like this kind of differences here. I'm not saying here 100% that they're not related. There can be situation with time travel and so on, like in Terrance's theory, that they can be actually, you know, like brother and sister, but so far I'm not really convinced about it. And there's not enough for me to actually consider this as a valid theory. So this is my opinion about everything we have seen so far. As I told you already a couple of times, I would love to hear and read your thoughts under this video. If you want to support this channel, you're more than welcome to like, write some comment, and if you want to support it financially, Patreon and YouTube membership program are available for you. And thank you so much, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!